Ain't nobody, they can't fire me. I make too much money to get fired. So they can't fire me. First of all, they fire me. They got to pay me for 7 years, and I'm gonna quit way before then. But if they want to fire me, I would love for them to do that.
I want you to win, but I don't want you to win more than me. Now I see if you win more than me. Now I got to question your sexuality.
Yeah.
I got to question, how black are you? Because, bro, I'm like, come on, man. I mean,
this whole thing is a mess. There's jealousy, betrayal, and a big move for control that didn't work out. Some people think Shannon Sharpe might have secretly tried to block Charles Barkley from getting a job at ESPN. This happened around the same time Shannon's own career started going downhill because of a lawsuit and some embarrassing stuff that happened off camera. But here's the strange part. Even though Barkley has said some crazy things and even talked badly about ESPN, they're still giving him big chances. No punishment, no waiting. Meanwhile, Shannon seems to be slowly getting pushed out. So what's really going on? Was Shannon trying to get Barkley removed? Is he just jealous? Or is there something bigger going on behind the scenes? People close to ESPN say Shannon hasn't been happy seeing Barkley appear more often. Barkley is bold, speaks his mind, and fans love him.
But that's because you fools on other networks, which we gonna become fools next year. We be working on that network. But Oklahoma City and the Cavs been balling for 6 months.
Even though TNT no longer has NBA games, Charles Barkley is still pulling in big ratings. Lately, Shannon Sharpe has been under a lot of stress because a young woman filed a lawsuit against him. Around the same time, rumors started that Barkley could be getting a big new job. Feeling stuck, Shannon reportedly tried to stop it quietly, basically trying to mess things up behind the scenes. But it gets even crazier. Some say Shannon even warned ESPN bosses about Barkley's past issues, hoping they'd decide not to hire him. But that didn't work. Barkley's career is still going strong, while Shannon seems stuck in place. Here's the real twist. While Shannon was digging into Barkley's past, the truth is, Barkley's drama isn't old. It's recent. And the wild part? ESPN knows about it and doesn't seem to care. They're acting like it's no big deal. Let's rewind to 2022. Barkley signed a huge 10-year deal with TNT worth $210 million. That's a ton of money. But right, after he signed it, he said he didn't plan to stick around for the full 10 years. According to him, he only had about 2 more years left in him. He said he wants balance in life and won't wear himself out just for TV, and he didn't stop there. Barkley threw a little shade at ESPN too. He said, "I ain't going to be working like no dog like Stephen A. Smith." That wasn't just a joke. He was making it clear he doesn't like ESPN's fast-paced, non-stop work style. You'd think ESPN would back off after comments like that. But no, they still brought him in, gave him a spot on their NBA team, and let him do things his way. No rules, no filters. Barkley gets to be himself. And here's the wild part. Barkley's not hiding how he feels. He's already said he's worried ESPN might ruin the fun, laid-back vibe of inside the NBA.
Oh, he said the Lakers, first of all, the Lakers have had a great 2 weeks. He said the Lakers saved the NBA season. That's because them fools on the other network, which we're going to be working with next year, that's all they talk about.
There are too many ads, too many rules, and not enough real moments. He's worried they'll ruin everything that made the show great. And it's not just fans who feel this way. People in the media, critics, even Barkley himself are saying it now. People think ESPN might really mess things up. Everyone knows ESPN has a certain style, clean, polished, and always on brand. But that's not how Barkley does things. TNT let him be wild, funny, and honest. ESPN? They like their hosts to be neat and follow a script. Barkley once called a TNT spin-off the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Even after saying that, ESPN still treats him like a big star. Charles Barkley said all of this out in the open. Most people would lose their TV deal for that. But not Barkley. He's still under contract and still backed. Even when he called out ESPN for pushing Anthony Edwards as the NBA's next star before he'd proven anything in real pressure games, nothing happened. No punishment, no warning. Just business. As usual. Now think about Shannon Sharpe for a second. He was close to landing a $100 million deal before that lawsuit came out, before the IG Lab stuff happened, and before people started talking about trouble inside ESPN. At the same time, Charles Barkley showed up right after criticizing ESPN, and what happened? He got a promotion, more protection, and even praise. It's no wonder Shannon isn't happy. The favoritism is clear, and here's where it gets even messier. Rumors say when Barkley heard Shannon was trying to mess with his ESPN deal, he clapped. Back on air, he said Shannon costs too much and can't be fired.
And I've been going back and forth with TNT for the last 2 months, whether I'm going to work 2 years or 3 years. But if I really wanted to, I could stay for 7 years, which there's no chance of that happening. Zero.
Barkley wasn't just feeling confident. He was sending a message. He was showing off. He knows how valuable he is, and more importantly, he knows ESPN needs him right now. That's what's really causing a stir behind the scenes. While Shannon is trying to keep things calm, Barkley is making smarter moves. Instead of trying to fix his public image, Shannon is reportedly fighting back by trying to drag Barkley into backstage drama. But it doesn't look clever. It looks desperate. Sources say Barkley didn't take it well when he found out. He made it clear he's not here to mess around with Shannon. Barkley usually avoids drama, but when he's upset, he speaks up, loud and clear. While Barkley is signing big, long-term contracts and making strong moves, Shannon's situation is falling apart quickly. Some people are even calling it a perfect example of someone ruining their own career. Now here's the biggest issue, the one nobody wants to talk about, the $50 million lawsuit. Gabriella Zinga accused Shannon of sexual assault and threatening her. She said she was barely legal when it began. It's a serious case and is affecting everything Shannon does. We don't know all the details yet, but one thing is certain. The lawsuit made a huge impact. And just when things seemed like they couldn't get worse, they did. A few weeks before the lawsuit became public, Shannon accidentally stayed live on Instagram. What happened during that live? Let's just say, it didn't look good. People on social media were talking about his strange behavior. One person said, Shannon Sharpe ruined his own career and only has himself to blame. Someone else added, it looks like Shannon's just mad because Barkley got a raise. Sounds like jealousy. People online aren't holding back. They're saying it straight. This looks like jealousy. Barkley is a real legend. Whether you like him or not, he's funny, honest, and always brings energy. And here's the big surprise. Barkley isn't joining ESPN by himself. He's bringing the whole Inside the NBA crew. That means Shaq, Kenny, Ernie, the whole team is coming. Even the TNT production staff is joining. Same team, same vibe, just now under ESPN. While Shannon has been struggling, Barkley has been quietly planning a big move. Think about it. This isn't just one person getting a new job. ESPN basically took over a whole show. This isn't a promotion. It's a full-on replacement. People inside ESPN are already saying Barkley's new show could lead the next big chapter in NBA coverage.
And like I said, even though the name changes, the engine is still the same. And to that new network we coming to, we're not coming to F around. And since it's the last show, I'm gonna say it. We're not coming to F around. We kicking ass, we taking names, and we taking over.
Some people think Shannon Sharpe is being pushed out. Now there are rumors that Charles Barkley might help pick new talent at ESPN. If that's true, Barkley is gaining the kind of power Shannon used to have. And here's where it gets interesting. Some people believe ESPN wants the drama. Why? Because drama gets attention. People love watching arguments. Shannon and Barkley are both trending right now, and that might be exactly what ESPN wants, to let the drama continue while they profit from it. At the same time, Shannon's image is getting worse. It doesn't help that he's acting bitter. People say he's been mad because he didn't get a raise like Barkley did. And ever since that lawsuit came out, it seems like ESPN has slowly been pushing him out. People online aren't being kind either. One harsh comment said, "Come on, Shannon. Chuck's not out here chasing young girls. He earned his spot. Don't hate, you messed up." It was a cold comment, but a lot of people agree with it. Here's a twist. Shannon might also be blaming Shaquille O'Neal. Yes, Shaq and Barkley are both now at ESPN, the job Shannon thought would be his. TNT lost the NBA, but Shaq and Chuck landed safely at ESPN. Shannon didn't. If you've been paying attention, you know Shannon and Shaq have had quiet tension for a while. They've taken small jabs at each other on TV, in interviews, and on Instagram. It's been building up. And now it looks like Shaq might have had a plan all along. A few weeks ago, an audio clip leaked. Someone who sounds like Shaq was talking to a media fixer, someone who finds dirt on celebrities. The voice said, "Find me something real on Shannon. I know there's something. I want something that sticks." The fixer replied, "Let me work on that. That's a tough one." Soon after, Shannon's lawsuit came out and his image started to fall apart. Was it just bad timing? Or was it all part of a setup? Did that video get him in trouble? Everything seemed to fall apart at once. Now, it feels like Shannon is under fire from every direction. From the industry, the media, and maybe even from Shaq. ESPN's top bosses are watching everything. On the outside, they're smiling. But behind the scenes, people say Shannon's almost out. They've already approved Barkley's new NBA show, and word is Barkley will help pick new talent. That might mean Shannon's out next. Let's be real. Why would ESPN keep someone with bad press when they have Barkley? He brings in big ratings. This is the same company that gave Pat McAfee a show and put Stephen A. Smith everywhere. ESPN wants big, loud personalities. And now Barkley is their main guy. Insiders say Barkley's face is everywhere at ESPN. They're calling him the everyman voice of the NBA. Honest, raw, and bringing in big ad money. The bosses love that. Meanwhile, Shannon is stuck defending himself and throwing shots instead of fixing his image. And it's starting to show. So what's next? Barkley's secure. He says he'll retire in a couple of years, but until then, he's making the most of his ESPN deal. And he's definitely not worried about Shannon. As for Shannon, if he doesn't clean things up fast, especially with that lawsuit, he could lose his media career. Things look rough, but it's not over yet. He still has fans. If he makes the right moves, he could come back, just like Joe Budden did. But one thing is clear. His spot at ESPN? It's not looking safe anymore. So now I ask you, was Shannon really trying to take down Charles Barkley? Or is all this just a way to distract people from his own problems? Is ESPN smart to bet on Barkley? And can Shannon bounce back? Or did he blow his chance for good? If you're still watching, you know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, and tell me what you think in the comments. I'll see you next time.